Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, it is fantastic to see so many people here tonight. And a lot of people who have already had their roles tonight, done their jobs, have explained to you what Toastmasters do and all the different roles that Toastmasters have. However, I'm going to start with a little story for you tonight. The sound of heavy rain pounded on the windows as the club president called the weekly Toastmasters meeting to order. 10 minutes later, the door squeaked open and a reluctant guest tiptoed inside. The visitor, Matty, was a dreary creature who looked more like a wet homeless person than a typical club guest. She shuffled to the back of the room, avoiding all eye contact, and took a seat. After the meeting, she kept her eyes pointed to the floor, muttered a few self-effacing words and left as quickly as possible. Week after week, the door squeaked open with the meeting in progress, and in shuffled Matty. One week, the table topic master waited until the last topic for the evening and called on Matty. "Me?" she inquired. "Yes, Matty, this one is for you, and you can do it." There was a deep sigh. The applause started slowly as she walked to the front and began mumbling to the floor. Her unintelligible topic response was almost over when she said something funny, and the audience laughed. Matty looked up, surprised, and they saw the most beautiful smile. It was a new Matty, refreshed and rediscovered. That epiphany infused Matty with new confidence. She joined the club and started speaking regularly, increasing her eye contact, vocal variety and gestures. Soon she became an outspoken leader, delivering profound and moving speeches. Her presentations were funnier and funnier, until she even won the club's humorous speech contest. The transformation was remarkable. Over time, Matty shared how a life of drug addiction and bad relationships left her homeless, unemployed, and in her mind, unemployable. Her self-image was shattered by years of rejection, failure and negative self-think, until Toastmasters. Matty stopped attending for a while, and it was soon discovered that the reason why was because she had a new job for the first time in a very, very long time. So why did you start coming to Toastmasters? Bevan?
Maureen, I came on Toastmasters to learn meeting procedures because I was running another organisation and I was very daunted to control these guys. So I came on to learn meeting procedures.
Oh, meeting procedures is one reason. Betty, how about you?
Maureen, I was given a life membership and I had to give a response. And when I spoke into the microphone, my voice quivered. And everybody said, next time you first be speaking about your tissues. So I thought, Toastmasters is for me.
Thank you, Betty. How about you, Denise? Why did you come to Toastmasters?
I came because someone from work asked me to come and I didn't have anything else on that night.
So for the social aspect, really. All right, we'll start with a few of the reasons why people do come to Toastmasters. One is meeting procedures. Now, all Toastmasters clubs conduct a meeting regularly at their meetings. This is a proper meeting with the guidelines and rules taken from Renton. Now, this is the Toastmasters Bible. It's considered the Toastmasters Bible because we cover these rules in our meeting procedures. At the Toastmasters Toastmasters meetings, members can learn all about the handling of motions, handling of amendments to motions, rules for motions and amendments, the stages of a meeting, for example, the formal business of minutes, correspondence and reports, etc., and procedural motions, as well as learning how to fulfil the different roles like chairing a meeting, such as what Savvy did this evening, and how to move motions, which we didn't have any tonight. Some people come to Toastmasters purely to give speeches. Of course, one of the main reasons that people come to Toastmasters is to give speeches, to learn how to. Each week at Tropic City Toastmasters meetings, we have an educational session, just like you've seen tonight. And this follows our normal meeting or our business session. Every member has the opportunity to complete various projects out of our manuals. The communication and leadership manuals. And this is only a small example of some of the manuals that we actually complete projects out of. Starting out with our first speech is the icebreaker. Of course, this first and most terrifying project is what it says it is. Firstly, it introduces the new Toastmaster to the club, and it also breaks away the frozen fear that you have about speaking in public. However, the educational session is not just about giving speeches. We also have a grammarian who introduces a special word for the evening, and everyone is encouraged to use that word. We have a timer who times every speaking role and indicates with the lights that we've seen in the middle when the time is up. And we also have evaluators to evaluate every speaking role. And as you can see this evening, it's a very structured program. Now, some people go to Toastmasters to enter the speech contests. Every year, Toastmasters has a contest circuit, so to speak, starting with the speech contests in the club, within the club. Every club holds a table topics contest, a humorous speech contest, an evaluation contest, and an international speech contest. The winners of the club contests go on to compete at the area conference. Then the winners of the area contest go on to division. The winner of the international speech contest at division then goes to district, and then from there they go to America to compete against the winners of all the other districts in the world to become the world champion of public speaking. So does this sound like you? Some people come to Toastmasters to help them get a job. Well, you've come to the right place, because Toastmasters encourage impromptu speaking, just like we heard before, through the table topic session. This enables members to gain practice and confidence in answering questions on the spot, just like that. And no one was given those topics before this evening. They were given them right on the spot tonight. So you will be so much more confident and qualified at your interview, not to mention how well you are going to give that presentation once you've nailed that job. Some people come to Toastmasters just to socialise and to meet new friends. Well, here we are, guests, the friendliest people on the planet. And you know what? We all want to socialise with you as well. Because different clubs get together regularly to interact and attend conferences, we are able to meet members of other clubs from different areas, divisions and districts, in fact from all over the world. Yes, many people attend the conferences to either participate in the speech contests or to support members of their own club, area or division. And at the same time, they meet many more Toastmasters. And then there's some people who come to Toastmasters to gain some confidence. Well, like Matty, who I spoke about earlier, many people have low self-confidence or low self-esteem. These people are quiet and introverted. They don't socialise well, and they have enough trouble simply starting up a conversation, let alone speaking in front of an audience of any size. In fact, they do not start conversations. They do not go anywhere on their own for fear that someone might speak to them. And if they have to go somewhere on their own, they try to sneak in with a bunch of other people and sit in the back row so that no one can see them. When there is a chance that people in the audience may be asked to speak, to stand up and speak, as I said about Matty earlier, they keep their eyes averted because they know that if someone asked them to stand up and speak, they would literally die. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I was just like Matty. At my first 5 or 6 visits to Toastmasters, I prayed almost loudly that no one would ask me to speak or even speak to me. And at the end of the meetings, when they did ask if I would like to say something, I almost slid under the table, totally mortified that they would expect me to say something. I stopped coming for a while after this. Then one day I decided that Toastmasters was what I needed. I turned up on my own, introduced myself in my icebreaker just a few weeks later, and here I am today. Now, different people come to Toastmasters for different reasons. Some stay just a short time once they believe that they have got what they wanted out of Toastmasters. And some stay members for years because they can see the potential of Toastmasters, the continuous learning and improving and multi-skilling and confidence boosting. Not to mention the social aspect and meeting lots and lots of new and different people. Toastmasters has given many people a new outlook on life. And you can see people like Bevan and Denise and Betty who are still here after 20 years, some of them. So that's their Tuesday night is Toastmasters. So why not give it a try? And now everyone says that I always talk about one thing when I do my speeches, so I must share them with you. It's not one of 3. Mr. Toastmaster.